I don't know what Dungeons and Dragons. Like I don't. It's like a game, but like you imagine you're like in the game, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's just it's just a collaborative storytelling with some characters.
And you tell the story?
Yeah, I'm a dungeon master. So generally I've written an arc and created a world, and then players explore it. And I make calls as to like how difficult it is to climb a wall or fight a monster or that kind of thing.
And so if you say this is a real difficult monster to fight, then you've got to come up with a different way of fighting it?
Yeah, or, either it can just be like how hard you hit it and how long the thing goes, but it might be how do you negotiate your way out of it? If you can't actually kill a dragon, but it's going to eat you, how do you tell it not to? So there are other kind of checks that you can do, persuasions and deceptions and intimidations and all that. And
then you decide whether you beat the dragon, the person beat the dragon.
Yeah, there are stats. There's a lot of math involved that can make that happen. But like,
God damn.
You want to play D&D?
I mean, I'll try. I mean, what do you think I'd be able to do it?
Literally right now.
Sure.
All right. So let's see. You've got a bow strapped to your back. A sword and a dagger at your hilt, right? So you're walking through the woods. It's dark. It's at night. Almost no moonlight is coming through. You hear a crack off in the distance. Something large stepped on a branch. What would you do?
First thing, how far away is the crack?
Give me a perception check. So then you roll dice and we'd see how perceptive you are. Let's say you roll a 13. Okay. And you're pretty perceptive. So you have a +3 to that. That's 16. So I know, 16, that's pretty perceptive. You think it's about 20 feet away.
Okay. It's about 20 feet away. I think I take out my bow first.
So you take a bow, you're readied, you're aimed, you're looking.
Right at where the spot's coming,
Okay. Slowly creeping towards you, suddenly into view, a little bit of eye shine in the darkness. You see an owl bear. This is a 10, 15 foot tall monster. It looks like an owl, but it has the body of a bear. It opens its beak and squawks at you. What do you do?
Have I ever met an owl bear before? Like, are owl bears?
We could do a history check. So this is D&D. You're playing D&D.
What do you mean a history check?
So a history check would be like, in your past, in your history, have you experienced
Okay, so how do I
before?
check? Yeah, let's check.
You would roll a dice. Let's say you have a low history. You roll a 13, but you have a -3. That's a 10. So no, you've never met an owl bear in your life. You have no idea whether it's threatening or not, but it is squawking at you.
I'd be like, yo, are you my friend or are you my foe?
Fantastic. You speak to it?
Yeah, I try.
Give me an animal handling check. So you'd roll another one. So this is, we kind of see, based on your character sheet that you've created, you're going to be good and bad at different things.
Who, I create the sheet?
You could, or I could, or you could get a pre-made sheet,
why don't you just make your sheet that you're great at everything?
Because, if you're a wizard who's in school studying books to learn magic, you're probably not spending that much time in the gym. Versus if you're, a knight who goes out and slays dragons, maybe you're socially awkward and don't know how to talk to people. So your charisma status.
Is it within your interest to like not be great at everything?
You want flaws. Like one of my favorite characters, my friend Tommy played Viros. He was a prince. And the idea was that he was very, he'd been kind of pampered his whole life and everyone always laughed at all his jokes and said that he was wonderful and handsome. But he's actually not that funny and he's not that handsome. He just has been sheltered. So when he got out in the world and started investigating, he thinks that he's this charming, suave individual, but his stats, his like literal charisma stats are very low. So he would fail constantly. And part of his story throughout the campaign was him learning that he wasn't as charming as he thought he was. So flaws are great. Flaws make good story.
But is the goal to win?
No.
What's the goal?
There is no goal is to tell a great story.
Tell a great story.
And there might be arcs of like one big bad is like hurting innocent people. And there are monsters to fight. So you're motivated to be a hero. And that's what I love about D&D is practicing being a hero. It's practicing protecting the innocent and stopping the bad guy and standing up for your fellow players. It's the greatest game ever created. And it's just collaborative storytelling. You just sit at a table. It's as close as you can get to when you were 7 on the play yard, just like making up games and stories. And I love it. And I will do it until I die.
Yeah.
And it saved me through pandemic. It saved me through strikes. Like I always had this thing to turn to for creativity and finances, frankly.
How finances?
People pay me to run games for them and pay me to write campaigns and do things like that.
Yo.
Yeah. It's like a whole side career now. But it's cool. And like I said, it's that one weird space where we're all nerdy. So I don't...
You do it like free of, there's no nerves or insecurity.
Well, there's nerves and insecurity, but I don't have to worry about not being cool. Whereas like every time I'm on a Daredevil set, I'm a little worried that I'm not cool.
Yeah.
I'm not cool enough for everybody. You know.
It's funny, man. And again, we were talking about this and joking about it earlier, but it's like when you say like True Blood being cool and stuff, like I hear I feel the exact. I felt like I never could fit in.
Yeah.
Because I was always like this athlete and this boxer guy who was like trying to be an actor, and like I always felt like you know, not cool enough. Like I could never like really like speak that language. And I remember when we were, you know, when Walking Dead like first happened, you know, True Blood was like, I remember we were at like one of those awards that like one of those like, you know, like I don't know, like Saturn Awards or something like that. And I remember like, you know, Walking Dead hadn't come out yet, but me and Sarah were there and we had to announce something, and they showed like the it was like the True Blood cast, and like it was like close-ups of their face that we and like me and Sarah walked out, and I remember who it was, but like one of the main women on that cast, and she was like, "Who are they?" Like that, like kind of like zombie show, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's her.
Hollywood is a weird space where either you were always cool or you were like your story where you're like, I was a nerd, or I was a jock who didn't really do this stuff, but fell in love with it and then felt like an imposter because I didn't come from the weird artsy clique. Mm-hmm. Or you're me, who was always the weird artsy kid who then goes into Hollywood and everyone's cool and wants to party. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Mm-hmm, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's a weird space where, yeah, I don't know. I don't, you know, at those industry parties, I always end up in the kitchen doing dishes with the caterers. Cause really? I've done that several times. Like one of the Netflix parties, like at Ted Sarandis' house.
You went into the kitchen, started doing dishes?
I did dishes in the kitchen because I was so nervous. I didn't know who to talk to or how to be there. So I went in to use the bathroom or something like that. And I don't know. I just was like, oh, let me get that. I don't know. My brain needed something to do.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's also why games and stuff help me, because it's like an activity. And I can get to know people better if it's not just talking. If it's like, oh, we're playing a game and I'm learning who you are.
Yeah.
So there's something about like, oh, I need to do something like helpful for the world right now instead of just standing at some fancy house pretending that I'm fancy and belong.
Yeah. I don't know. Those things are getting easier. I mean, like I avoid them because I just want to be with my kids if I have time, but they're getting easier because I feel like I know people. Like I get to see old friends, you know what I mean?
I don't know very many people.
Yeah.
That's another downside of being introverted in this industry.
Yeah.
I don't tend to hold on to those relationships very, very well. It's true.